Good morning. Oh, I need to grab the wipes. Huh. I just realized I left something on the bed, and well, it is what it is. Hubby's not in here today, Echo. I'm sorry. He's outside. I think he's watching a basketball game because I can kind of hear sport things coming in through the door. So there's that. Yes. Today, excuse me, I'm putting on makeup, of course. And I kind of, sort of, have a plan. And the plan is, sort of, that I am going to try this Tier Mask Fit Red Cushion Mask Shield Enriched Coverage Cushion Foundation. Now, the reason you are looking at it in a little paper sleeve is because I decided to be smart about it, and instead of just blind buying like the foundation, like the full foundation, which I think is around about $30 odd. I decided to just get the sample for two reasons. One, so I can get the right color. And I bought I think this is like the lightest set. I think they have like, I want to say 5 or 6 different sets with like different shade ranges. And one thing about this, which has made it so popular, is the fact that it's very high coverage, and it is, I'm just going to move that a little bit, like, so it doesn't flash as much. And it is, what was the other one? It has a very big shade range, and it is very high coverage. It went viral on the Clock app, and apparently there's also like some controversy around how certain people were rewarded, etc., etc. But, you know, if you want to, if you're curious, just go Google Tier Cushion Foundation Scandal Birkin bag on, you know, in a search engine. It'll come up. I'm certain it will, because it was everywhere. Anyway, so I have 6 colors to try. I'm not going to crack them all open today because I think I know what color I am. Maybe. Okay. It starts at 21C, Cool Ivory. I think that's one of the lightest shades. And then it goes to 21N, 21W, and the highest is 24W, which is soft beige. I am normally a 23 in Korean BB creams, foundations, that kind of thing. And I want to assume that I'm sort of somewhere around there with this. So I'm going to crack open the 23 and test it out, and then either go lighter or go darker, so that I don't, you know, waste too much of it. I've got my little, what's this thing called? Plate. And I've got the color in 23N. I am, however, going to pop on some primer before I do that. And my girlfriend Steph bought a mini compact of it. And the funny thing is, she hated it. She did not like it at all and said that it was very matte. It made her skin look terrible. It was too cakey. It was too foundation makeup-y looking. and she said the coverage was just insane, but its lasting power was also insane because like she went to sleep in it because it claims to last 72 hours. And honestly, who needs foundation to last 72 hours, right? But she claims that she went to sleep and she woke up and she sent me photos before, after, and everything. She goes, my goodness, I woke up this morning looking like this, and it's like stayed on and looks exactly the same. So I'm like, well, okay, you know. But she said it's very, very matte, and it was way too matte for her. I'm just going to pop on some lip balm. It's just my usual Lanolips lip balm. And anyway, she said, at least I only got the mini. But she's been using it. And then I get a message a few weeks later complaining that the mini cushion foundation only lasted like her 2 weeks. And she said she paid like $15 for it. And she goes, $15 is a lot of money for it to last only 2 weeks. Anyway, so there's that. But the point of it is, she said it was very matte. I don't like very thick, heavy matte coverage foundations. It just doesn't suit my skin. And I'm sure you can see I'm very glowy from my sunscreen. But I am going to use my Kind Collective primer in the Miracle Glow Skin Serum. It's a blurring primer, but it's also glowy. You can see that from the shimmer, and this is the champagne color, and I love it. It is this magical thing that is either, I don't know how they do it, but it literally is blurring, as in pore blurring, plus it's still glowy. It's fantastic. I have put it in this little tube pump bottle only because I didn't like the dropper bottle that it came in. So I'm gonna put some of this on, and I need to as you can see, it is glowy. I am trying to maintain some glow under my skin. And also because I don't want it to make my under eyes look very dry, which is my sort of problem area. I'm trying to take some precautions based on everything that I have heard from reviews and what my friend Steph has told me. So I'm trying to be sensible about this, you know, to sort of like give it the best chance that it can to look good on my skin right off the bat, and then I can sort of adjust and know what I'm going to use. Anyway, I don't want it to look dry under my eyes, so I'm going to put a little bit of lip balm. There's a lip balm hack floating around on the internet. I think it was invented by the makeup artist Scott Barnes, who is a very, very famous makeup artist. And anyway, I don't have the Aqua 4 lip balm that he recommends and that everybody in the US uses. So I'm just using my Nivea Milk and Honey Lip Care lip balm, and it's really lovely. And it does work for me. So I'm just gonna swipe some on underneath. I've never had any issue with it, like, you know, milia forming or anything like that. And I do notice that when I do remember to use it, my makeup under my eyes tends to look better, less dry, because of all the wrinkles and creasing under my eyes on account of the old age. And I'm really bad at this camera thing. Okay, so the Tier Mask Fit Red Cushion Mask Shield Enriched Coverage in the shade 23N Sand. I actually had a little bit of a dilemma today, I'll be honest. I was trying to decide whether to use this. There's not much in here at all. It's 1 gram, 0.3 of an ounce. And I'm trying to squeeze some out. Oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, it feels very thick. It is also very yellow. But I might be able to get away with it. I'm just going to do one side to begin with, just to see. Holy moly, she is not kidding about that coverage. You know, I barely put any on. Who needs concealer with this stuff? I'm still maintaining some of that glow, but I like, look at how matte that is over there. But I think that has to do partially with the lighting and partially with me going very light. I think that color works. It looks dark to me in real life when I'm putting it on, but once it's blended out, it actually looks really quite nice. I'm trying to not be too heavy-handed with it, like, as in like put too much on. And I am blending it with a sponge because it's a cushion foundation, so they encourage you to use the cushion, what do you call that thing? Sponge that comes with it. But wow, that coverage is pretty incredible. And I didn't use much. I still have. It really, literally, all I did was have like 1 dot come out of here. So I might try to see if I can seal this little thing back up and be able to, I'm just going to put a bit more under my eyes just to, then I can skip concealer, and on my nose, so I can skip concealer and see how this coverage works. I don't know. I have heard, I have some issue going on in the upper lip here with some discoloration. I think it has to do with menopause, because menopause just hates me more than any other person, because like my mom went through menopause and it was like, oh yeah, you know, I was a little moody. I drank some tea. I was fine. If anyone's interested, I can make a video talking about my menopause symptoms and what happened to me through menopause and stuff. But it really is has been very unpleasant for me. If I look really up close in the mirror, I can see that this coverage is kind of very insane. However, because I haven't been very heavy-handed with it and I haven't used much, and I'm kind of scooching in closer. This is a very dark spot freckle. So, and I didn't make an effort to cover it up. And plus the lighting and the glow, and I did, you know, to be fair, I did amp up the glow. I will set this. Apparently you don't need to set it, but I am going to, because while I don't like a super duper matte looking foundation, and while I don't like it to look cakey, I also don't like to look like a greasy mess. So I am going to, I might just set a little bit. I'm not sure. And it feels, I can feel, it feels sticky. And I'm doing a lot of blending. And since this is a wet sponge, it probably has soaked up a little bit of the product too, but holy moly. You can see it looks a little, excuse me, a little pink here. But if I look up really, really, really close in the mirror, and this is in my lighting, not reflected in the camera, it doesn't look like any of my redness is showing through. It actually looks like I have already put concealer there. So I'm wondering if I should just leave it or set it, because I just feel, I feel funky. I know it's kind of a weird word, but I do. I don't like the fact that I haven't set it and it just feels like tacky, sticky. I'm just gonna clean off my brows. So that I can do my brows without doing battle with the foundation on my brows getting in the way of the brow product, which can be an issue. Okay. So it hasn't covered up that little extra flick of a tail that I usually use concealer to cover up, but I didn't make too much of an effort to cover that up anyway. Okay, I'm not quite sure what to do next. And you know, I'm 17 minutes into this video and I haven't even done the rest of my face. And I probably will kind of at the end of the day hop back on either on video or I'll just leave a comment in the bottom to give an update on how this wore. Hopefully I'll remember at some point. Anyway, or maybe I'll do it at the end of the day when I'm ready to, you know, from the bathroom when I'm ready to wash everything off. Okay. What do I do? What do I do? Okay, you know what? I am going to set this because otherwise it is just going to drive me crazy. But I am going to use something that's not going to be very, very heavy. I'm just going to use my beloved Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in Translucent in the original formula because, look, I know it works and I know it's wonderful and I just really dislike this sticky feeling. I know, I sound like a broken record, but I really, really, really do. So, that's got to go. So, just the old powder brush. And I'm just going to very gently just dust. And you can see it just takes a little bit of that shine off my face as well. So, in case you're wondering, I'm just dabbing a little on the brush and then I'm mushing it in the lid. I do a lot of mushing just to make sure that it's distributed evenly on my brush before I apply. Okay, it's not awful. Right off the bat, and I don't know how this is gonna sort of translate and look later in the day, but right off the bat, I think because my skin underneath was so juicy and so glowy and so hydrated, this looks really nice. And it wasn't a lot of effort to try to figure out how to make it work or anything like that, because I kind of already knew based on all the reviews how this was going to perform. And based on what I had learned, I kind of knew what I needed to do to make sure that I gave it the best chance possible without it looking awful. Plus, I didn't use a lot. So, and I spent way more time bouncing my sponge on it and blending, you know, it into my face than I normally do with any other foundation. And I think that helps. But I'm just going to smoosh up close, but that looks pretty nice, right? And I cannot see my pores too badly. You can kind of see a bit of it, but it's not awful. I can tell when my pores are awful, and this is not it, so that's a good thing. All right, I'm gonna get on with the rest of my makeup. This is my DIY brow gel. I'm just going to run this quickly through my brows. I'm not going anywhere today. It's a Saturday. I have work. I have a deadline. There's a client of mine has a book coming out on Thursday, which basically means I need to get all the final edits done by the end of today and then sent over to her so that she can format the book and then upload it onto Amazon. And that's kind of the routine. Final edits, and these are just typos, so you know it's not going to take me a long time. It's probably about 4 hours of work. But final edits today, and then maybe tomorrow I'll take the day off, because I am trying to take weekends or some weekends off. Quite often I have to work through the weekend just because of, you know, book release deadlines. But I am trying to take some weekends off and some like public holidays off just to have better work-life balance. So I do have to work today though. I'm trying not to mess up the the foundation, and I am using my Anastasia Brow Wiz eyebrow pencil in dark brown. I think I've said this before. I might have said it in my last video. I am surprised, very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised, how much I am liking this skinny format of an eyebrow pencil, which I didn't think I would, because I always sort of like that the broader triangular shape one, thinking, you know, broader triangular shape, easier, faster. But I do like the fact that I get a lot of precision from this skinny brow pencil, and I can do the tail and I can fill in kind of sparse missing areas in my eyebrows just a lot better. So I am liking that about these skinny brow pencils. So I might switch to them. Concealer for under my eyebrow. Nothing new here. The Urban Decay 24/7 concealer pencil in the shade DEA. I am still miffed. I will say this every single time. I am still miffed about the fact that they discontinued this. And I have not, honestly, I have not found anything else nearly as good as this pencil. Fortunately, I use very little of it, so it's going to last me a long time. But unfortunately, when it does eventually go bye-bye, I will be devastated, because then I will have to go on the hunt for something to replace it, like I did with my NYX Taupe HD blush. which they discontinued, and I really, really, really wanted that color for my contour. And I've talked about that before. I'm feeling a bit sticky under my chin, so I'm gonna powder under there. You're not gonna see any of it, but I am gonna powder under here just to take away the stickiness, because I don't like that feeling at all. And that's kind of like a whole skincare thing. It's not a foundation thing. Okay, so wow, I am feeling like I am looking very perfected. So I'm just gonna go really simple with the rest of the face and just Too Faced Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer, and just do a simple eye look. Actually, this morning has been fun because I woke up pretty early for a Saturday morning, and I was chatting with my friend Steph. She's my makeup, skincare, decluttering buddy. We all need somebody like that in our lives, you know. And anyway, I was chatting with her, and there's this brush set that apparently has gone viral on TikTok, in the TikTok shop. Anyway, so I was telling her about it, and which led to us talking about, well, actually, which led to her talking about her brushes and her brush collection, because I was just showing it to her and saying, you know, I'm not going to buy it. I don't need brushes. And anyway, so then, you know, it led to us spending the morning just chatting about brushes and what brushes she likes and things like that. So that was pretty fun. And I do have a bunch of messages while I was getting washed up, and now that came through from her where she was showing me some of her brush collection. So I'll take a look at that. Speaking of Too Faced, you know, I am going to crack out my Too Faced Face and Eye palette infused with peach and sweet fig milk. And it's the Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry Face and Eye Palette. I really only use this as a face palette, and mostly I use it as a blush palette, but the colors are just stunning. I think I will use this one, Peach Pop, on my cheeks. But before that, I think, what shall I do? That's Peach Honey, which is this shade, and this is Sugared Peach. Maybe I'll pop Peach Honey. Shall I? I'll pop Peach Honey on my lids. Yeah. Sugared Peach might be too warm compared to the blush shade that I want to use. Ooh, that shimmer is just gorgeous. I really don't, it does smell really peachy and really pretty. I really don't understand why they discontinued the peach line. I guess, you know, they need to discontinue lines. Companies need to discontinue lines and products in order to make way for new things. But to this day, I still hear of people complaining about the fact that they discontinued the foundation and the loose powder, and people saying that that was by far the best foundation and loose powder they have ever used. I have the foundation. I love it. It's in my travel bag, so I use it when I travel, and it looks fantastic every time. I never used the powder, and I'm kind of regretting not getting it, but we were in the US, and I think by the time I got to the US, it was either so popular that it was out of stock or it was on its way out already. Because bless hubby, he took me to 3 different stores before we found the foundation in a shade that worked for me, that I could get. Because they were just out of stock everywhere. Oh, I can smell that. It smells, oh, that went out my nose. A little bit of the powder went out my nose. That was nice. But don't have the powder go up your nose. I think I'm just gonna be easy and grab my beloved Ulta eyeshadow in Camel, my single eyeshadow. I don't actually know if they still sell this in Ulta Beauty in the US, because I randomly picked this up one time when we happened to be in the US, you know, when we were over there traveling. And then I kind of forgot about it. And now I'm massively obsessed with using this to blend out all my eyeshadows, because it is just, I mean, you can see, right? It is just the perfect matte neutral eyeshadow color for my skin tone to blend something out. And it looks wonderful. So I just use it all the time. And I think I talk about it in almost every single Makeup Diaries video that I have. So if you ever watch any of my Makeup Diaries videos, which I really should post one soon, this gets mentioned a lot. And in case you're wondering what my Makeup Diaries are, it's really a combination of me doing a Shop My Stash plus Project Pan plus using what I have plus decluttering, kind of all in one, because every time I use makeup, I pop it into this basket. And when the basket is full, I fill my Makeup Diaries, and it includes some empties and things like that as well. Okay, the longer this foundation is sitting on my face, the nicer it's looking. And I have to say, I am really liking how it's looking. And I'm not rushing. I am taking my time today, mostly because I'm not having to rush to go anywhere. If I was in a hurry, I'd blow through this part really fast. This is just a bare brush that I'm using to blend out the edges of my eyeshadow a bit more. It's a new step for me. I've added this step in just to make sure that the edges look a bit more blended. I don't know if it's helping. I can't really tell. I never can tell until I look in a different mirror that's not at my dressing table, because to me, it kind of looks fine. It's like I have this one spot somewhere in my eyebrow, and I never notice that I miss it until like I'm looking in the mirror in the car. So there's that. Okay, blush and then lip, and then I'm done. Right, we're using Peach Pop. And I do love the fact that all of these powders have shimmer in them. And that they are shimmery, because I do love a glowy blush. I should use this more often. I don't actually know why I don't. I got this at the same time as when I got that foundation, and when hubby took me on that giant hunt across Minnesota looking for it. That's where hubby is from, or where hubby's family is from. So up until recently, we used to go every year. But airfares have just become prohibitively expensive, and we're just not. I'm doing mostly, I want to say, what would be a normal makeup routine for me, because I don't want to do anything special to treat this foundation any differently or any more special, so that, I know how it will wear under normal circumstances. The only difference is, while today is actually quite a warm day, I'm not going anywhere. And, well, even if we're going somewhere, and if I'm going hiking, I'm not going to wear a full face of makeup if I'm going hiking anyway. So there's that. That's looking a lot more pinky. That glow is all from the blush. It's looking a lot more pinky than I was expecting, but that's all right. That is okay, but then I need to rethink my lip, because I was going to use my Lanolips Jelly Balm in the color Cherry, because it's very, very pretty, and I was just feeling like sort of just something balmy and nourishing on my lips. It might work. Let's have a look. I'm not crazy about it, so I'm just gonna give it a little blot for now. I do feel like I need to do my usual Guerlain Meteorites blend finishing touch, and this is sort of a normal thing that I would do anyway. And you can see immediately, like right here, how just this powder just perfects the skin and brightens it a touch. But yeah, I need to blend out the blush, because the blush is looking a little bit too unblended to me. That is better. It's still got the glow. And you can still see the blush, but that just looks, it just has made it look a lot more seamless with the rest of my face, and I can cope with that a lot better. I'm just gonna do a little bit dabby to put a little bit of color back in. Yes, I like that. I do like that. It was too much pigment and too pink before, and that was, I have to admit, that was bothering me. Okay, what am I gonna do with my lips? I think, you know what? I think just Everyday Pink, or rather, Everyday Pink. This is an old Color Pop lipstick container, and the original color for Everyday Pink, I think, was, oh, I don't remember. It was a ColourPop glossy lip stain, but it's since been discontinued. But I had a little bit of it left, and I DIY'd it with combine some other colors to make Everyday Pink. And I have videos talking about my DIY sort of everyday colors and my lip swatches. Did I do lip swatches or hand swatches? Or maybe I did both. If I remember, I'll link the video below. But anyway, so this is Everyday Pink. I am down to about here. But I do have another little pot of it left that I can, yes, that works. Yeah, definitely. And I still have not learned how to talk and apply lipstick at the same time. I do suit a warmer pink. And this just works. I love this color. I don't wear pink nearly as much as I wear red. But Everyday Pink and Everyday Red are called Everyday. It's my nickname for the colors. Because I literally, if I need a red or I need a pink, this is what I wear. The other day, I decided that I wanted to wear something other than Everyday Pink. Sorry, other than Everyday Red. And then I picked another color, which was an e.l.f. Lippy. Actually, I have it right here. It's the e.l.f. Lip Stain in the color Spicy Sienna. And it's not that far off from Everyday Red. So that was actually quite funny. It's like, oh, I want to wear something different and not Everyday Red. But it kind of actually ends up looking like Everyday Red anyway. Okay, so I am done. My takeaway, because I've been sitting here blathering for almost 45 minutes, is that I think it looks very nice on me. But I have no idea how this is going to wear. I'm told it will wear really, really well. So I will check back in at the end of the day when I am washing up and taking my makeup off, and we can have a really good look in the harsh bathroom light mirror to see how it's stood up. You know, because by the time I wash up, it'll be a good 10-12 hours at the end of the day. So, you know, we will, and that's enough. I'm not going to sleep in it. You know, 10 or 12 hours is plenty. So I have some left. I'm pretty sure of it. So I'm just going to seal it with a airtight clip and use it up before it dries up. And I think I will enjoy it. And maybe I don't really need foundation really, but if I like this enough, I might get it. I'm just looking at really up close in the mirror. And I do like the way it looks. It looks very perfected. Okay, cool. I'm going to go and get on with the rest of my day. Get to working on the deadline and the typos for the final edits of the book that's coming out next week. So, right, that's it. Thank you for watching. I will see you later tonight. Yes, I shouldn't even say bye, because I will see you later tonight, and it will have been 12 hours, but in video time, it would have been like 2 seconds. So I'll catch you later. Hello. It's the end of the evening, and I just wanted to do a quick check-in. Pardon the lips, that's all worn off. And I just wanted to show you how the Tear Cushion Foundation has performed. But, by the way, Echo, hubby's here. Darling, say hello to Echo.
I'm going to wave my foot at her.
Can you get your foot up that high?
Yeah, see?
No, it's not showing up in the screen. Anyway, Echo, hubby says he waved his foot at you. Okay, so this is what my face looks like after 11 hours of wearing that perfume. Not perfume. Oh, God, I've got perfume on my brain. That foundation. I have, you know, done all the things at home and cooked and eaten and worked, and I didn't run a marathon. So I don't know how it's going to last after, you know, exercise. But I did take a nap and I laid on it, and, you know, so this is how it looks. And I've got sort of lighting over there. It's dark, so this is kind of like the best lighting there's going to be. But I've scooched right up close to the camera so you can see. It has kind of worn off around my nose, but it's still looking pretty good. And it has really held up well on my nose, much better than any other foundation I've really ever used, with the exceptions of maybe like Estee Lauder Double Wear and the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric foundation, which both of those are kind of like my go-to bulletproof if I need long wear type foundations that I pull out, you know, for a long day. But I have to say, I do think it looks really nice, and it looked really good. I showed it to Steph. I took some photos and showed it to Steph, and she said, wow, your skin looks really good and really perfected and really, really flawless. I think the thing that really helped was the fact that I said to Steph, you know, my face was very shiny, juicy before I put the foundation on. And, you know, thanks to her, I really prepped my skin for this foundation. So my skin was probably, I think for me, I would say bordering on oily. But fortunately, I have sort of normal to slightly dry skin, and because it wasn't crazy hot today and I wasn't sweating and you know, getting oily in my T-zone, I didn't produce more oils, and so my face, even though it was pretty glowy looking after the foundation because of the sunscreen, because of the glowy primer I put on underneath, everything sort of still looked pretty good and stayed looking very similar throughout the day. And, you know, I have rubbed my nose and touched my face and all that sort of stuff, and smushed up against hubby when I was snuggling with him and, you know, doing cuddly things. So, you know, it's rubbed as well. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the way it looks. It does feel like I'm wearing makeup. It doesn't feel weightless on my skin. Like, I feel like I'm wearing foundation and I feel like I'm wearing makeup. So, like, you know, I'm at this point of the day and I'm kind of thinking, I just need to wash all of this off, and I need to wash off the makeup because I am done. I've had enough. I want to just clean my face, get my skincare on, and get back to work and get back to my deadlines and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for watching. This is definitely bye-bye. And yes, please do all the YouTube-y things and like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.